Hi, I'm Reba Hollingsworth with CBS 6, and I was on the mic with Mike and had a fabulous time. Make sure you tune in.
There you go. On the mic, Mike King here, the part of the Mike King Biz Media Network. Alrighty, so you can follow me on the social platforms, Mike King Biz, as well as on the mic with Mike RVA. We talk to the best and the brightest. We talk to legends out there. Bud Myers is in the building. Bud, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, so before we came on, we just said we don't have anything to talk about now because
We've been talked out.
we're talking. So you're here with the briefs. All right, so I always tell people, what I do. This is a business show. So tell folks who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Bud Myers, and I'm one of the guys, the ringmaster of a online station, music channel called The Breeze, vabreeze.com.
All righty, and you guys, it's not just online music. You guys really are champions for the local music talent.
That's why we did this. Well, first off, you might know Bill Bevins or
I do.
Adam Stubbs or Elise Jennings. These are all Hall of Fame broadcasters, and they had been doing radio for, in some cases, over 50 years. And the problem with today's radio, and you know, this in corporate, there's so many layers that are put on broadcasters that they can't get across what they want to get across. The reason we wanted to do this is multi-tier. But the main primary reason was to begin a community station that really was a conduit to allow communication from nonprofits, from just about any kind of organization that needed their message to be put out, to have a way to get that message out. And then to support the local artists who are in this market who have never had a platform to play. So local musicians who have been here forever. They're loving this.
It's the breeze. It's funny that a year is gone. I remember when I saw you guys out. And shout out to Westchester Commons. I mean, Mark Bowen out there doing some amazing. Now he's a different guy.
Mark's a great guy.
Mark's a great guy. Shout out to him in the Chesterfield Chamber. I'm getting ready to go see him out at the golf tournament in a little bit.
So you want to hit him along today?
No, I'm driving. I'm interviewing people.
Oh, okay.
Like Caddyshack. I just ride up with hey. What are you doing out here? And people, you know.
Do you have the Rodney Dangerfield type of golf bag that has also?
No, I got my golf cart. I call it Golf Cart 1.
Yeah.
So I put the sign on there that says Mike King Biz is here, and we just go up and people are looking at me like, what are you doing? Hey, we're out here talking for the Chesterfield Chamber.
That's cool.
So, alrighty, so let's talk about you guys coming together with the Breeze. It's a business show. So you guys thought there was a need there.
Mhm.
How do you bring all the talent together and then let everybody know what's happening?
Well, first of all, it's getting the talent together. We're united in one musical cause. And basically I had put together a musical idea. And I'd let Bill and Elise and Adam, each one of them heard my concept, which was basically all genres. You know, it's where radio used to be. If it's good music, you play it. And they heard this music. They said, well, I haven't heard this. This is the way I wanted to do radio all along. You know, good music being played. We don't care what it is. If we want to put a bluegrass up piece next to a Zydeco piece and then hard R&B, that's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to create a day for you where your energy levels can be boosted and then come down to relax. That was the first thing. And there was this unification of the three of us that basically said, this is the kind of music we want to play.
And so you guys started. When did you know you had something? Because you're like, okay, we have this idea. We think it's going to work. When did you realize that it caught on?
I don't know. Will you give me a heads up? Then I'll have one hit. You know, I think it was when people like Tim Timberlake and some of the really big people in radio that we really respect said to us that this is something special, that we believed we had an idea, just again the vast amount of experience that all these people had. You know, you had to come across with something good. But when these other people outside of what we were doing started saying, this is really special, that really meant something to us, and it gave us the will to start putting this forward. And it took me a year, by the way, to even get onto the air, to get all the licensing, to learn this because I'm not originally from the radio business.
So you're telling me, I thought you were radio, but you're TV.
Yeah, I was Channel 6 on WTVR actually, I started doing commercials in 1976.
All right, so Bud Myers, how'd you get into the commercial business?
Well, I was a retailer. And so the best thing you can do is you get somebody that's a corporate spokesperson cheap, which is one of your employees. And so a company called Harvey's Warehouse back in the day, which was a stereo chain. We had ended up with 65 stores. But I did the commercials. We would go into the studio after the news at 11 o'clock. So we could get, cheap studio
Cheap
time.
studio time, yes.
And you could imagine we were in the right frame of mind at, 11,
Yes,
11.
I can imagine.
So we would knock off 20 or 30 commercials in a couple of hours to go to all the markets. So, I mean, John Shand, the original John Shand would be standing there back in the day. And, we'd be doing these crazy spots. And that started off. I started doing spots that way.
So you were on the retail side, then you get into the commercial. When did the bug for TV catch? You're like, okay, this is pretty fun right here.
It's totally, again, everything happens for a reason, but Bill Bevins was the weatherman for Channel 6. Okay. And
What year is this?
this was 88, 89, right in there, and then into the 90s. And he had, I think, 13 years, Bill did weather. And in 1997 is when Bill came up to me and he said, they want to do something on technology. They like to have a sort of a little deal there. And this was for Saturday mornings and Sundays. And I said, well, Bill, I can get away from the wife. You can get away from the wife. We can drink coffee on Saturday mornings and talk, and just sort of be together. This is a great idea. And I thought maybe it would last like maybe 4 or 5 months or something. And it went 16 years.
And what was the name of the show?
It was the CBS Saturday Morning News. And I did all the interviews.
And you knew the name.
I was the gadget and gizmo guru.
Okay, so
You got to start somewhere, Mike. Come on.
You do. But what happens is you're building a brand before people didn't know that you were building a brand.
Well, again, my background was from the electronics industry. So that was really what I did. And so I was flying all over the country and all over the world. And I would come back to Richmond to do these spots because they really just assigned me a 4-minute slot. They didn't know what I was going to do until I got
Kind of
there.
like this.
Yeah. And what I would do is I'd give them the information and we do it. And it gave me the platform to be able to bring on nonprofits or causes that I wanted to be able to pitch. And that was well worth my time to be able to do that.
All righty, so let's get back to the Breeze. How many songs do you have in rotation? It's a crazy number.
It's over 10,000.
So what you're saying is, when we listen to regular radio, we hear the same 10 songs
Right.
over and over again.
Right.
When you're saying I hear a song, I may not hear that song again for.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. And it's going to be so different too, because all of Air talent, they choose their music. They know the music they're going to play. And you know how it is in certain buildings where these syndicated shows, those guys don't even know what genre they're playing. It could be a rock station in one market, and they could be country in another market. Most of these people that are doing don't even know what music they're playing. Air people pick the music, they talk about the music, they know music, and that's what makes it so different.
One of my Bud Myers here, Breeze. That is the station. That's the radio station. So let's talk. And you said sometimes people get the misconception that when folks get a few miles on us, we don't want new music. And you're saying it's not the case.
It's not the case. In fact, that's what really bothers me, that today there's some great things going on in Richmond right now. In fact, it's unbelievable. Shaka Records is now introducing new
Yeah,
artists.
shout out to my man Craig Martin, who's out there doing some things, and Carlos.
Carlos is great. Just in your ear, you're doing great stuff. The radio stations that are out there now, WNRN and WRIR, doing great things. And they really serve a more youthful audience because that's the people that go to the clubs. I mean, let's
Right.
face it, that's it. What is missing is people our age aren't getting to hear the music that we grew up with. And I'm not talking about the actual songs, but if you grew up to Bonnie Raitt or Al Green, you would love to hear the new music that they've been putting out for the last 20
Because
years.
you would not know that they put out anything new, because the only thing you were able to hear is the old stuff.
Exactly. And so we go back and we put deep tracks. You're hearing stuff that you haven't heard before. And like last night, I played new music from Aaron Neville. Okay, new music by a band Cold Blood, Lydia Pence of San Francisco, great funk band. I mean, this is new stuff that's coming out. Dylan's got a new album. It's amazing that this is music that you should be hearing. And so the problem is there's no radio station programming things. Not an oldie station now. They're programming music for us. And the people that have been in this market are local musicians who have never had a place to be heard. Steve Bassett, Robert Thompson, God bless him. You know, people like Plunky and Oneness, okay? Weldon Hill. These are great musicians that have been here for 50 years and they haven't had a place to play. 30% of the music that we play, over 100 acts, we play on the Breeze.
On the mic, Mike Butters here with us, Breeze Radio. So when I hear Mark Bowen talk, he sounds like a historian for music, talking about local Virginia music and giving the acts. That's why it works when I see the bands that he has come out there, giving them a shot, because how do those bands make it? Some of the bands been together 30 years. And, you know, we just know the music that was out at a certain time. That's
Right.
it. That's the only way you know, but you're bringing something to the market. How can people find out more information about Breeze?
VA Breeze, that's virginiabreeze.com, VABreeze.com. And if you're a local, you know, someone who's a local musician, by the way, tell them to send me an email at bud@vabreeze.com and send me an MP3 of their music. Has to be studio produced, and we'd love to get them on. And you can get more information about how we do it, because also when you advertise on the Breeze, you get your name out there.
What's the biggest difference that you guys see between the Breeze and what you do online as opposed to terrestrial radio like this right here?
Well, one is we've invested in sound, so it's CD quality. I mean, that's the first thing. As you know, the technology here, you have to compress it so much in order to be able to send it out. So the sound can't necessarily be good. But if you've got like Apple CarPlay or Apple AirPlay, when you actually go Bluetooth and put it on into your system, it's unbelievable. And their apps sound great. So the first thing is that. And then the second thing is you've got a real musical awareness where we're going to take you through your day. And hopefully if you stay with us on the Breeze and you hear the different types of music that you hear through the day, with at nighttime having some great smooth jazz, something to relax you and go to sleep with.
Let's talk about the on-air talent. You got some rock stars there.
I do. Bill Bevins, who's a Hall of Famer, has been on radio for 50 years. Bill starts it off in the morning. Then Elise Jennings, Elise was with XL 102. She was the first.
I heard that, the first female
program director. So she's unbelievable. And Elise starts at 11 o'clock and goes on until the afternoon, where Adam Stubbs, who is also a Hall of Famer, who's been with K95 and been with all these different stations over his career, was about 30, 40 years. He's on. And then I'm the rookie. And so I pull up the end and I play my jazz show.
You do the jazz show. Okay. And so people can hear that online.
They can hear it online. You can go to vabreeze.com and you can actually hear it on your computer if you want to go through that way, or you get the app and then you're able to hear it anywhere.
Okay, so it's on the mic. Mike, this is a business show. Let's talk about, you guys have advertisers and all of this. Show them some love. So for businesses out there and they want to reach your audience, which is one, older people got money.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, that's the thing people don't realize.
People,
80% of the money in the United States is 65 and up.
Yeah, people got some money. So for folks who want to market to them, talk about why it's important to work with the Breeze.
Well, we created it to help you brand. We aren't profit oriented. And when I say by that, none of the people in the Breeze take any money. We are doing this totally as a service to Richmond. And so my overhead is to a point where, obviously you pay royalties, you pay for that sort of thing. But our goal is to be a community station, unlike public radio, we really want to do things for small businesses. So for instance, for your listeners, we can do a program for them for like $1 a hour. So literally $1 a spot, up to 100 spots a month. which that will get their name out, but it's only going to be for your listeners. They're gonna have to say Mike King.
$1 a holler. I like that. You
That's
have
an
been-
old term.
You've been in, well, see, I'm a new guy to this. When I hear something like, wow, that's great. Like Mike, that's been around, 47 years. Okay. Alrighty. So, and that's the thing. So for businesses, they're able to get their name out there on a regular basis, a regular sustained basis. You
Yeah.
come from TV, it's the same on getting your name out and working that way.
And it's,
Not-
by the way, you're online, so it's all over the world.
It
We
is.
have listeners all over from England and Australia, and it's amazing because, again, we're trying to get the Richmond musicians known. So all of this is going out. That's why the Richmond International Film Festival just named us their musical station. We are the station for them. So you're going to hear these musicians that are part of the festival from all over the country. You can hear their music on the breeze too, for Richmond Film Festival.
So let's talk about on the nonprofit piece. You guys do a lot with the nonprofits. How do they engage with you? And what type of things you do with them?
Well, there's a lot of things we can do. First of all, just getting the message out. So if you send me your 30-second spot, your message, your stories, nonprofits pay nothing for any announcements that go on to the breeze. If you have a benefit that's coming up, in particular, we're going to announce it for you. And of course, it's no charge. One of the ways we also can help you raise money, as we do something for instance, SCAN, Stop
Mhm.
Child Abuse Now. We put a program together, and this is available again to your businesses. It's sort of a be a DJ for a day thing. And
Oh,
what your SCAN can do, what SCAN is doing is they're charging X amount. Go to the website, go on, they charge X amount, and that gives you 1 hour on the breeze. And what happens is you would send me your 10, 12 songs that you want me to play. I get that all for you. And then you get to do the announcement. You can tell stories, you can do whatever, but you've got
I
an
can
hour.
be like the man Delilah.
Yes, you could be.
I could be the
absolutely.
lie.
Yeah.
One of the things I talk to people, but there's certain things in radio. Well, it come from Philly, so Jerry Blavitt, the heater,
Yeah.
was somebody that everybody knew. But like when you hear like the Delilah radio, it's corny, but man, it gets you.
It gets you.
It gets you, and it's been doing it for so long. So what is it about radio that gets people? TV makes you a star because they can see you, but it's something about radio. One, it's fun. When people come into the studio, craziness happens. Like TV's more buttoned up.
Unless you're doing live on CBS.
Yeah,
But-
well,
but-
yeah, some of the story, the snake story was something.
I think radio is more intimate. You are with the listener. And especially today, because this, I don't look at this as a phone, I look at this as the transistor radio. Now, when you plug this in and it's in your ears, what we're doing right now, and these folks that are listening right now, it's just us and them. It's direct. And I think that puts a different kind of bond with the host and how we present the music to you, because really that's what we're doing. I'm visualizing you at home and playing this music for you. And I think that's you can't get that on television.
You can't do that. All right, sir, one last time, how can people find information out about the breeze?
Go to VA, like in Virginia, VABreeze.com. Thank you so much.
There you go, on the mic, Mike, we're here, you know what? He's good. I mean, the music that where the breeze, trust me, on the mic, we thoroughly endorse them. And if you roll with some rock stars, you guys pull out some A-list talent.
We tried.
We do. All right, so on the mic, Mike, we got to run. This man, he got stuff to do. He can't be hanging out here with me all day. So on the mic, Mike, we'll talk to you soon. I know, that's what I'm trying to tell people. My wife ain't listening.